Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. They're still filming the Clayface movie, and there's been a ton of new Easter eggs for the new Batman of the DCU, the Dick Grayson Robin, the new DCU Joker, the new Penguin, Zatanna, and a ton of new DCU lore and characters, and people thinking that they have spotted a connection between Robert Pattinson's Batman and the DCU. I've gotten a ton of requests to do videos about these, especially about the Batman stuff, because it's starting to seem like the movie might wind up being a prequel based on some of the footage and the context. I know there's been a ton of talk about James Gunn introducing many of the Robins by Batman Brave and the Bold, which will be set in present day. He never outright said they'd be doing prequel movies, but a good example during the DCEU Justice League era were the Wonder Woman movies. They were both technically prequels to explain the origin for her character, so we'll break all these down, all these Easter eggs. James Gunn did say that the Clayface movie will be the origin story of the Matt Hagen version of the character, and Clayface seemingly died in the present day of Creature Commandos, or at least we think that he's dead, and James Gunn wrote all those episodes. So it makes sense that this live-action Clayface that we're seeing is a prequel, especially if it's his origin story. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos, and a really big shout out to Twitter user Eggboy and all the other people on social media that are capturing all this stuff while they're filming on set. Most of this brand new footage comes from scenes that they're filming at Amusement Mile, so we're talking a lot of Joker Easter eggs too for DCU Joker. In real life, they're using Liverpool to actually film a lot of these scenes, not just Amusement Mile, but around their version of DCU Gotham, which is actually the same place that Matt Reeves filmed the Batman movies, and he will film the Batman too. Probably the biggest thing people were going crazy about the last couple of days was the big Batman reference. While they were filming Amusement Mile scenes in the background, people spotted this trash bin, noticed there's a sign about keeping Gotham clean, no big surprise there, but next to it is what looks like a sticker with the Batman logo. Normally would just be a really cool reference, like, oh hey, Batman logo, awesome, it's meant to be a Batman-connected movie, this is Gotham, it's Amusement Mile, of course there'd be Batman symbols around the place. But if you didn't immediately recognize it, the thing that was driving people crazy is that it's actually the Robert Pattinson's Batman logo. So everyone started taking this to be confirmation that Robert Pattinson secretly would be the Batman of the DCU, and Pattinson-Matt Reeves' universe was connected to the DCU.
The city streets are crowded for the holiday.
This is also when all the Morbius jokes started, so people started making references to the movie going full Morbius. As you remember, famously now, Sony put a ton of different Spider-Man references and Easter eggs in the Morbius trailers for Tom Holland's Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man, to the point that all the Easter eggs themselves kind of didn't make sense the way Sony was throwing them together, presenting them. Then when the Morbius movie actually came out in theaters, we saw that Sony had removed all the Spider-Man related Easter eggs or references, with exception to the post-credit scene. So people started wondering if they were doing the same thing with the Clayface movie in Robert Pattinson's Batman. When I first saw this, I actually just assumed that it was some random person slapping a Batman sticker on it, and it's not meant to be part of the official set decoration, and it's not something that they planned to be in the movie, and they'll just remove this logo in post-production or change it to a DCU Batman logo when the movie actually comes out. Basically the idea, it's not something that they did on purpose. They're not trying to connect Robert Pattinson's Batman to the DCU. Right after this footage started circulating on social media, James Gunn officially commented on it, confirming my theory, reacting by saying, although the trash can is from set, I have a hard time believing that the bat was put there by the art department, but if so, it never came across my desk. I don't have time to okay every piece of set dressing. What he's basically saying is that the people who actually work on the movie and would be responsible for this actually had nothing to do with it, but also kind of leaves himself an out, saying there's like a 1% chance maybe they did this, but probably not, like don't hold your breath. The closest we've gotten to actually seeing the DCU Batman logo is in Creature Commandos. James Gunn confirmed that that is the canon DCU Batman in one of his suits. It's not what his suit is going to look like during Batman Brave and the Bold, because in all the Batman movies, every era of Batman, he always gets a new suit each time, so it will have evolved by the time we see him in live action. This Clayface movie probably meant to be a prequel because of the context of the Robin footage, so Batman's suit during the events of the Clayface movie would be way more primitive. There was also a Wayne Terminus Easter egg that people spotted on set on the maps of DCU Gotham. Wayne Terminus is also where the Matt Reeves Robert Pattinson Batcave is located. It's meant to be a subway station that the Wayne family built long ago, then became defunct, and Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne just eventually turned into the Batcave because it was still connected to all the subway tunnels around Gotham. Based on what James Gunn is saying, I think it's also just more of a coincidence that there is a Wayne Terminus station in the DCU and also in the Robert Pattinson Batman universe.
You are El Rata Elada.
At least right now, I'm not taking this to be any further confirmation of any kind of crossover. Here's where we get to the next big thing, the Robin footage. This is actually of the Flying Graysons who are performing at Amusement Mile where they're filming all this footage. Like, this is where people are capturing all these Easter eggs. This poster makes it seem like they probably have not died in their accident yet, so Dick Grayson has not yet been taken in by Bruce Wayne Batman and has not taken the mantle of the first Robin yet. Kind of gives you an idea for how long ago in the timeline this movie will take place. In present day, based on what James Gunn has said about Batman Brave and the Bold, unless something has changed since he initially started planning the movie, Damian Wayne is supposed to be the current Robin. Dick Grayson would have already become Nightwing long ago because Batman would have already also been through Tim Drake Robin and Jason Todd Robin. Speaking of Jason Todd and Red Hood, there are more Joker references also in these new Amusement Mile scenes. There's Joker's Rule graffiti, again, which we also saw in other Easter eggs, next to Ghost Dragon's Easter eggs, which are a gang in the comics. There's also a reference to the DCU Penguin, calling him the Penguin Man, making it sound like he's part of the circus entertainment, like he's an attraction, along with the Flying Graysons, like it's the same circus that they're all part of. Which would actually give the DCU Penguin a very different origin story than the Matt Reeves Colin Farrell Penguin. In the Matt Reeves Batman movies, he explained that the Penguin is just a derogatory term that people use to make fun of Oswald Cobb because of his physical deformities. He's already significantly changed his version of the Penguin's backstory, so in the Reeves verse, his last name is Cobb, not Cobblepot, because he doesn't come from a wealthy family like comic book Penguin. We also saw that there's an iceberg lounge on the map of DCU Gotham during Clayface 2. Next big Easter egg is footage of Zatanna, so this is Club Vesuvius, which she performs at regularly in the comics, so it just sounds like they're doing more world building for her or her father Zatara, because they could also say that she's much younger during the events of this movie if it is a prequel, so they can just cast a younger actress for Zatanna in present day DCU.
How are you, Bruce?
I'm fine, Zatanna.
James Gunn already introduced DCU Cersei during Creature Commandos, so magic is already a big deal in the DCU. We just didn't see a ton of magic-related stuff during the Superman movie. Superman is canonically weak to magic, like he just has a trouble fighting magic, so it wouldn't be surprised if they address that in some future movie. Probably not Man of Tomorrow, just because that's more of a Lex Luthor Superman team-up movie against Brainiac. I already talked about the Black Mask, the Black Canary Easter eggs, seeming like they're setting up those characters for the DCU. There's also the Roger Elliott Easter egg, who is the father of Thomas Elliott Hush, so it also seems like they're setting up DCU Hush eventually. There was some talk about Matt Reeves doing a version of Hush at some point in his movies because of the Easter eggs in the first Batman movie. There was a bunch of new footage of Matt Hagen with Naomi Ackie's character at Amusement Mile sharing time together. Twitter user Eggboy and other people were saying that they were kissing. There's footage of them at a diner as well too, so it seems like they have some kind of relationship on the DL. She's also supposed to be the doctor who performs the procedure turning him into a metahuman. There's other footage of him here too at an in-universe movie premiere because remember, Matt Hagen is an actor in-universe. It's part of the reason why he wants to heal his face so that he can be an actor again. The actual in-universe movie that he's attending is The Light Between. You can let me know if you think that's a reference to something. The Light were used on Young Justice, but I don't think it's a reference to that version of the Light organization. Notice you see him rushing away from the theater, holding his face, implying this is right after he becomes a metahuman and he's not able to hold his shape long enough and it just starts to break down. James Gunn said the movie is meant to be an R-rated body horror film, like think traditional horror film, partially inspired by the Batman animated series episode Feet of Clay. So imagine him breaking down the same way that Matt Hagen did, unable to hold his shape in the same way. There's a lot going on during all of these new scenes and Easter eggs. Like, this seems like there's a lot of world building going on here for really big Batman characters, in addition to Batman himself. But like, we have Robins, there's other Batman villains that they're setting up in the background, other hero characters for the DCU. So if there's any other Easter eggs or references that you spotted in the brand new scenes that I didn't talk about in the video, just write them below in the comments. Generally, the way that James Gunn has talked about the new DCU Batman is that he doesn't plan on introducing an actor until he's ready for Batman Brave and the Bold. Like, he won't cameo in a bunch of other movies before Batman Brave and the Bold. So what that means is that in the other upcoming movies, we'll just see more Easter eggs like we did in Creature Commandos in the Superman movie with him in the background. You'll see him in the shadows, but you won't actually see an actor's face yet.
This is the DCU Batman. And we're gonna do great things with him. He's the most popular superhero in the world, and I can't wait for people to see more of him, along with Superman, and together.
Right now, my conspiracy theory is that James Gunn isn't lying, and they don't plan on bringing Robert Pattinson into the DCU right now. But that just means right now, meaning anything could change in the future. We're in the middle of Peacemaker Season 2 episodes that's heavily connected to Superman and the Man of Tomorrow movie and other DCU movies, so I'll do more Easter egg videos for that in my episode videos week to week. Next real big DCU movie is going to be the Supergirl movie. We'll probably get a trailer for that in the next couple of months. Cannot wait to see Jason Momoa's Lobo. He is going to wreck in the DCU. It's going to be fun. Everybody click here for my new Avengers Doomsday Doctor Doom first look video, and click here for all my Peacemaker episodes. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.